I installed the security cameras on a Tuesday afternoon while my husband Derek was at work. Not because I was paranoid, not because I suspected anything specific, but because 3 women in our neighborhood had experienced break-ins in the past month, and I was home alone most days while Derek worked at his tech startup. Just a precaution, I told the installer, a professional woman named Rita who'd come highly recommended. Better safe than sorry. Smart thinking, Rita said, positioning cameras at the front door, back door, and in the main living areas. These stream to the cloud. Even if someone steals the physical unit, all footage is backed up remotely. You can access it from your phone anytime. Perfect. What I didn't tell Rita, what I barely admitted to myself, was that I'd also asked for cameras that covered the interior of the house, the kitchen, the hallway, even the garage. That's unusual, Rita had noted. Most people just want exterior coverage. I want to be thorough. She'd installed what I asked for without further questions. 8 cameras total. Every major room and entry point covered, all streaming to secure cloud storage that only I could access. Derek came home that evening and noticed the cameras immediately. What are these? Security system, because of the break-ins. I told you I was getting one. You said you were getting a video doorbell. I decided to do the full system. The installer gave me a good deal. I showed him my phone with the app open. See, I can monitor everything remotely. Makes me feel safer when you're working late. Derek's jaw tightened slightly, but he nodded. Makes sense. Good thinking. He kissed my forehead and went upstairs to change. I watched him go, noting the tension in his shoulders, the way he'd glanced at each camera location with something that looked almost like concern. That night, I couldn't sleep. Lay awake wondering why my husband's reaction to home security cameras had felt off, why he'd seemed worried instead of relieved. 2 weeks later, I understood. I was reviewing footage from the previous evening, just checking the system, making sure everything was working, when I saw something that made my blood run cold. Derek, on camera, talking on his phone in the garage, our garage, which he thought wasn't covered because the camera was positioned to look like it only monitored the exterior door. But I'd asked Rita to angle it slightly, just enough to catch part of the garage interior. I turned up the volume on my phone, straining to hear. I know, baby. I miss you too, but we need to be patient, just a little longer. I love you. Yes, I'm being careful. She doesn't suspect anything. She's completely clueless. A pause. I know it's taking too long, but we have to do this right. If we move too fast, people will ask questions. My hands shook so badly I almost dropped the phone. Derek was having an affair, and they were planning something that required patience, something where people would ask questions if they moved too fast. I kept watching, saw him glance toward the house, checking if I was coming, saw him laugh at something the woman on the phone said. Once everything is settled, we'll have the house, the life insurance, everything. We can finally be together without hiding. Life insurance? My life insurance. The policies we'd taken out 5 years ago when we bought the house. $500,000 each. Derek was planning to kill me. I didn't confront him. Every instinct screamed to burst into the garage, demand answers, throw him out. But I forced myself to think strategically. If Derek was planning to kill me, confronting him might accelerate his timeline, might push him to act before I could protect myself. Instead, I started documenting everything. I went through the security footage methodically, capturing every phone call I could find. There were dozens over the past 2 weeks, all from the garage or his car, which had a camera pointed at the driveway that caught him through the window. I also hired a private investigator named Marcus Webb.
I think my husband is having an affair, I told him. I need to know who she is and what they're planning. What makes you think they're planning something? I showed him the video of Derek's phone call, the part about once everything is settled and the life insurance. Marcus's expression darkened. Mrs. Collins, this sounds like more than an affair. This sounds like conspiracy to commit murder. I know. That's why I need you to find out who she is and what they're planning. I need evidence before I go to the police. Have you told anyone else about this? My sister knows I installed security cameras. She doesn't know why. I didn't want to worry her without proof. Good. Keep it that way. If your husband realizes you know, you could be in immediate danger. Marcus took notes. I'll tail him. Identify the woman. Document their meetings. In the meantime, Mrs. Collins, be very careful. Don't eat or drink anything he prepares. Don't go anywhere with him alone. And whatever you do, don't let him know you suspect anything. I won't.
Marcus identified Derek's mistress within 3 days. Her name is Amber Lawson, 28 years old, works at Derek's company as a marketing coordinator. They've been having an affair for approximately 7 months, meeting at her apartment twice a week, lunch dates every Friday, weekend business trips that are actually hotel getaways. He showed me photos. A beautiful blonde woman, young and vibrant, laughing at something Derek said, kissing him in a parking garage, holding his hand as they entered a hotel. 7 months. Well, I'd been teaching piano lessons, managing our home, believing we were happy. There's more, Marcus said grimly. I've been monitoring their communications, legally obtained through surveillance of public spaces where they were speaking. They're actively planning your death. What? He played an audio recording taken from outside Amber's apartment window, legal in our state as long as the recording was made from a public space. Derek's voice. The fire would have to look accidental, electrical, maybe a space heater malfunction. Amber's voice. Can you make it look like that? I've been researching. It's not that hard. Cut some wires, add an accelerant that burns off completely, start it when she's asleep. The fire department won't look that closely if it seems accidental. What about you? Won't they suspect you? I'll be staying late at the office. We've established that pattern. I'll get home after the fire's already started, call 911, play the devastated husband. They'll never suspect me. I felt sick. My husband was calmly discussing burning our house down with me inside. When? I whispered. Based on their conversations, they're planning for this weekend, Saturday night. Derek has already told his assistant he'll be working late. Amber will be his alibi. They'll have dinner together, then he'll discover the fire and rush home. We need to go to the police. We need more evidence. Right now we have recordings of them discussing a plan. That's conspiracy, which is hard to prove. We need to catch them in the act. You want to let him try to burn down my house with me in it? I want to set a trap where you're safe and we catch him red-handed. Mrs. Collins, if we go to the police now, he might talk his way out of it, claim it was fantasy talk, that he never intended to go through with it. But if we catch him starting a fire with you supposedly inside, that's attempted murder. That's undeniable. This is insane. It's also your best chance at justice and survival. We planned carefully. Saturday night, I would appear to be home alone as usual. Derek would think I was asleep in our bedroom on the second floor, but I wouldn't actually be there. Marcus arranged for me to leave through the back door, avoiding all camera angles that Derek knew about, at 10 p.m. and wait in his car down the street. We'd monitor the security feeds remotely. If Derek tried anything, we'd have the fire department and police on standby. What if he doesn't go through with it? Then we wait for the next attempt. But based on their conversations, he's committed. Saturday night is the plan. I called my sister Emma on Wednesday to casually mention that I'd be home alone this weekend. Derek's working late Saturday, some big project deadline.
I'll probably just watch movies and go to bed early. Want me to come keep you company? No, I'll be fine. You've got your hands full with the kids. I'll probably be asleep by 10 anyway. Setting the stage, making sure Derek knew I'd be alone and vulnerable. On Thursday, I watched him in the garage again. Another phone call. Everything's set for Saturday. I'll come home around 11, discover the fire, call for help. By the time anyone gets there, it'll be too late. You're sure about this? Amber's voice, tinny through the phone speaker. I'm sure. I can't keep living this lie. I want to be with you. This is the only way. I love you. I love you too. After Saturday, we'll finally be free. Free. They'd be free, and I'd be dead.
Saturday arrived. I went through my normal routine, made breakfast, did laundry, acted like everything was fine. Derek left for work at 6 p.m., kissing my cheek at the door. Don't wait up. This project is going to take hours. Be safe. Love you. Love you too. The words felt like acid on my tongue. This man who claimed to love me was planning to burn me alive in 6 hours. After he left, I prepared. Changed into jeans and sneakers, clothes I could run in if needed. Put my purse, wallet, and important documents in my car, parked down the street where Derek wouldn't see it. Called Emma and had a normal conversation, knowing Derek might check my phone records later. Had to maintain the illusion that everything was routine. At 9:45 p.m., I turned off most of the lights, left just the bedroom lamp on, visible from outside, showing I was home and getting ready for bed. At 10 p.m., Marcus texted, "Time to go." I slipped out the back door, locked it behind me, and walked quickly to where Marcus was parked, 3 houses down. "I've got all 8 camera feeds pulled up," he said, showing me his laptop. "Police and fire department are on standby. They'll move the second he does anything." We waited. 10:15 p.m. Nothing. 10:30 p.m. Derek's car pulled into our driveway. "He's early," Marcus muttered. He was supposed to establish his alibi at work first. Derek got out of his car, looked around nervously, then went to the trunk. He pulled out a red gas can. "Oh my God," I whispered. "He brought gasoline." "I'm calling it in." Marcus was already dialing. "This is it. This is him doing it." We watched the cameras as Derek entered the house through the front door, checked the living room, looked up the stairs toward the bedroom. Then he went to the garage. The camera showed him dousing the walls with gasoline, the water heater, the electrical panel, making sure the fire would spread quickly and destroy evidence. He left the gas can in the garage, went back inside the house, and climbed the stairs. My heart stopped. He was going to the bedroom where he thought I was sleeping. The bedroom camera showed him opening the door, looking at the bed, which I'd arranged with pillows under the blanket to look like I was sleeping, then closing and locking the door from the outside. He locked me in, made sure I couldn't escape when the fire started. I watched in horror as he went back downstairs, pulled out a lighter, and lit a piece of cloth soaked in gasoline. He threw it into the garage. The flames caught immediately. Gasoline ignited with a whoosh. We could hear even from 3 houses away. Derek ran out the front door, got in his car, and drove away. "Now!" Marcus shouted into his phone. "He started the fire!" Suspect leaving in a silver Honda, heading south on Maple Street. Fire trucks and police cars came screaming down the street within 90 seconds. We watched as firefighters broke down my front door and entered the burning house. "Anyone inside?" one shouted. "Wife's supposed to be in the master bedroom, 2nd floor, doors locked from the outside." They broke down the bedroom door, found the pillows arranged to look like a body, and immediately radioed the news. "No victim found. Repeat, no victim in bedroom. This was a setup. Police cars pursued Derek. They caught him 6 blocks away, pulling him over before he could reach Amber Lawson. Marcus and I drove to the scene. My house was burning, flames shooting from the garage, smoke billowing into the night sky. Firefighters were working to contain it, but the garage was a total loss. A police officer approached me. "Mrs. Collins, I'm Detective Sarah Morrison. You're safe. Your husband is in custody. We have him on camera starting the fire." "Is he talking?" "He's claiming he came home and discovered the fire, called 911 immediately, playing the concerned husband." She smiled coldly. "But we have security footage showing him bringing a gas can, dousing the garage, lighting the fire, and locking the bedroom door from the outside. His story doesn't hold up." "What about Amber Lawson, his accomplice? Officers are picking her up now. We have recordings of them planning this together. They're both going down." I watched firefighters work to save what remained of my home. The garage was gone, part of the kitchen destroyed, smoke damage throughout, but the house itself, the structure, would survive. Unlike me, if Derek had succeeded. "Mrs. Collins," a firefighter approached me. "We found accelerant throughout the garage, gasoline poured on the walls and electrical panel. This was deliberate arson. If anyone had been inside, I know, I would have died."
The bedroom door was locked from the outside. That's attempted murder. Someone wanted to make sure the victim couldn't escape. That someone was my husband. The firefighter's expression was grim. "I'm sorry, I've been doing this for 20 years. Arson is usually about insurance fraud. But this, locking someone in, that's personal. That's murder. He wanted my insurance money, $500,000, and he wanted to be with his mistress without the inconvenience of divorce. He's going to prison for a long time." Good. Derek and Amber were both arrested that night. Derek continued claiming innocence. "I don't know what you're talking about. I came home and found the fire. I tried to save Amanda. I called 911 immediately." "Amanda wasn't in the house," Detective Morrison said. "She was down the street with a private investigator watching you burn down your home with her supposedly inside." Derek's face went white. "What?" "We have security cameras, Mr. Collins, 8 of them, all streaming to the cloud, all showing you bringing gasoline into the garage, dousing the walls, lighting the fire, and locking the bedroom door to trap your wife inside." "That's impossible. Amanda doesn't have cameras." "She installed them 3 weeks ago. You knew about some of them, the obvious ones. You didn't know about the others, the ones positioned to catch the garage interior, the ones that recorded every phone call you made to Amber Lawson discussing your plan to murder your wife by setting their house on fire while she slept. I want a lawyer." "Smart choice. You're going to need one." Amber was arrested at her apartment. She tried to play dumb. "I don't know what you're talking about. Derek and I are just friends." Friends who discuss murdering his wife and collecting insurance money? We never discussed that. We have recordings, Miss Lawson. Multiple conversations where you and Derek Collins planned to kill Amanda Collins by setting their house on fire while she slept. You discussed timing, method, how to make it look accidental. You even discussed what you'd do with the insurance money, buy a new house, travel, start a life together. Those conversations were hypothetical. Nothing hypothetical about a house burned to the ground with the bedroom door locked from outside. Detective Morrison leaned forward. You're facing conspiracy to commit murder, attempted murder, and arson. You helped plan this, you encouraged it, you are going to benefit from it. That makes you just as guilty as Derek. Amber's lawyer quickly negotiated a plea deal. She'd testify against Derek in exchange for a reduced sentence. He was obsessed with being free, said his wife was holding him back, that he couldn't divorce her because she'd take everything, the house, his retirement, spousal support. He said the only way out was if she died. He researched methods for weeks, settled on fire because it would destroy evidence and look accidental.
And you agreed to this plan?
I told him I'd leave him if he didn't end his marriage. I didn't mean he should kill her, but when he came up with this plan, I didn't stop him. I should have gone to the police. I should have warned Amanda. Instead, I waited for him to do it. That makes me guilty too. The trial was 4 months later. By then, I was living in a rental house while mine was being repaired. Insurance had paid out, not Derek's life insurance on me, but the homeowner's policy for arson damage. I testified for 2 days. Mrs. Collins, why did you install security cameras? Initially, because of break-ins in our neighborhood. I wanted to feel safer when I was home alone. But you installed more cameras than necessary for basic security. Yes, I can't explain why exactly. Intuition, maybe? Something felt off about Derek's behavior in the weeks before. The way he was always on his phone. The way he'd go to the garage to make calls. I wanted to know what he was doing. And what did you discover? That he was having an affair with Amber Lawson. That they were planning to kill me by burning down our house while I slept. That he'd researched methods, discussed timing, and was waiting for the right opportunity. How did you feel when you saw that footage? Terrified, betrayed. I'd been married to this man for 12 years, loved him, trusted him, and he was calmly discussing burning me alive so he could be with his mistress and collect my life insurance. The prosecutor played the footage for the jury. Derek entering the garage with a gas can, dousing the walls with gasoline, going upstairs to check that I was asleep, locking the bedroom door from outside, lighting the fire, running away. The jury watched in silent horror. Mr. Collins, you see yourself in this video? The prosecutor asked. That's not, Derek stumbled over his words. I don't remember doing that. You don't remember bringing a gas can into your house. I must have been in shock. Maybe I was trying to put out a fire I discovered. By pouring gasoline on the walls and locking your wife in the bedroom? I didn't lock. The video shows you clearly locking the door. You tried the handle afterward to make sure it was locked. You wanted your wife trapped when the fire spread. Derek had no answer. Amber testified against him, describing their relationship and the planning in detail. He said it would be easy, that fires destroy evidence, that the fire department would rule it an accident. He'd established a pattern of working late. I'd be his alibi. We'd wait a few months, then start dating publicly, eventually get married, live in the house he'd inherit, spend the insurance money. Did you try to stop him? No. Amber looked at me directly for the first time. I didn't try to stop him. I wanted to be with him. I wanted the life he was promising. I knew what he was planning to do, and I didn't tell anyone. I'm guilty. Not as guilty as Derek. I didn't like the fire, but guilty of wanting Amanda Collins dead so I could have her life. The jury deliberated for 8 hours. Guilty on all counts. Attempted murder, arson, conspiracy, insurance fraud. Derek got life in prison without the possibility of parole for 30 years. Amber got 25 years for conspiracy and being an accomplice. My house was fully repaired. New garage, new kitchen, fresh paint throughout. The smoke smell was finally gone. I'd replaced some furniture and redecorated, made it feel less like the house I'd shared with Derek and more like my own space. The security cameras stayed, all 8 of them, plus 4 more I'd added. 12 cameras total, covering every angle. That's a lot of security, my contractor noted when he saw them all. I like being thorough. My piano students came back. At first, parents were hesitant, unsure if they wanted their children taking lessons from that woman whose husband tried to kill her. But enough stuck with me that I'd rebuilt my business. Word spread that I was a good teacher, that I was safe, that what happened wasn't my fault. Emma visited every week. How are you really doing? Some days are hard. I still have nightmares about fire, about waking up trapped in a burning room. But I'm alive. That's what matters. Do you think you'll ever trust anyone again? I don't know. Derek seemed normal, loving, safe. And he was planning to murder me. How do I ever know someone's not hiding that kind of darkness? Most people aren't planning to murder their spouses. Most people. But some are. And they look just like everyone else. I joined a support group for survivors of domestic violence and attempted murder. I'm Amanda, I told the circle of 8 people. My husband locked me in our bedroom and set the house on fire. I survived because I'd installed security cameras and caught him planning it. How did you know to install cameras? Instinct. Something felt wrong. I couldn't name it, but something in his behavior changed. So I took precautions. Those precautions saved my life. After the meeting, a woman approached me. She was maybe 35, nervous, wringing her hands. My husband has been acting strange lately, talking about life insurance, asking if I've updated my will. I thought I was being paranoid, but after hearing your story, trust your instincts. Document everything. Tell someone you trust. And consider security cameras, ones that stream to the cloud where only you have access. He'll know if I install cameras. Then tell him it's for security, because of break-ins. Make it seem normal, but make sure you control the footage. You think I'm in danger? I think your instincts are telling you something. Listen to them. I listen to mine and I'm alive. Don't ignore that voice in your head that says something's wrong. She thanked me, took my number, and left. 2 weeks later, she called. You were right. I installed cameras. Caught him on the phone with his girlfriend discussing when would be the right time for me to have an accident. I went to the police. They're investigating. Thank you for listening. You saved my life. You saved your own life. You trusted your instincts. I wrote a book, Through the Window, How Security Cameras Saved My Life. Part memoir, part guide for recognizing danger signs in relationships, part technical manual about setting up security systems that actually protect you. The security company that had installed my cameras, Rita's company, endorsed it, wrote the foreword about the importance of comprehensive home security. Most people only think about external threats, but statistically, women are most likely to be harmed by intimate partners. Amanda Collins understood this intuitively. She protected herself from the person who should have been her protector. Every woman should have that same awareness and those same tools.
The book became a bestseller in the true crime and self-help categories. Women wrote to me, "Your story made me realize I needed to protect myself. I installed cameras. I documented concerning behavior. I trusted my instincts instead of making excuses for my partner." 3 women told me they'd caught their partners planning to harm them because of my book. 3 women who might have died if they hadn't taken precautions. "You're saving lives," Emma told me at my book launch party. "I'm just sharing what saved mine. If it helps even one person, it was worth it." I met someone. His name was James, a divorced father of 2 who taught high school history. We met at a community education event, bonded over our shared love of teaching, and cautiously started dating. Full disclosure, I told him on our 3rd date, my ex-husband tried to burn me alive. I have significant trust issues and 12 security cameras in my house. If that's too much baggage, I understand. James didn't flinch. That's not baggage, that's survival. And security cameras are smart. I should probably get some for my place. You're not weirded out by the fact that you were smart enough to protect yourself? No, I'm impressed. He paused. Amanda, I can't imagine what that experience was like, and I'm not going to pressure you to trust me or move fast. We'll go at whatever pace you need. I can't let anyone in my house for a while. Maybe a long while. Then we'll date in public places or at my house. Whatever works. I need to control the environment. know where the exits are, have my phone charged and ready to call for help. That's reasonable. You're not being paranoid, you're being cautious. There's a difference. Over the next year, James proved himself trustworthy. Never pushed, never tried to isolate me, never shown signs of the controlling behavior I now recognized as red flags. Do you think you'll ever fully trust anyone again? He asked one evening, 18 months into our relationship. I don't know. Derek broke something in me, the ability to take trust for granted. I'm not asking you to trust blindly. I'm just asking for a chance to earn it over time. You've been earning it. Every day you show up, you're earning it. 2 years into dating, James proposed. I know marriage is complicated for you after Derek, but Amanda, I love you. I want to build a life with you, on your terms, with whatever security measures you need. I'll even install cameras in my house if it makes you feel safer. I looked at this kind, patient man who'd never once made me feel unsafe. Yes, I said, but we're doing a prenup, and we're keeping separate finances, and we're both getting individual life insurance policies with someone else as beneficiary. Whatever you need. And we're installing cameras everywhere. Already planning on it. I was 53 years old, remarried, and alive. My first house, the one that Derek had tried to burn down with me inside, had been sold. Too many memories, too much trauma embedded in those walls. James and I bought a new house together. 1 story, for safety. Security system with 16 cameras, all streaming to cloud storage only I could access. This is Fort Knox, James joked as we moved in. This is safe. There's a difference. Derek was still in prison, would be for another 25 years minimum. He'd written me letters over the years. I'd never opened them. Didn't need his excuses or apologies. Amber had been denied parole at her first hearing. You helped plan the murder of an innocent woman. You showed no remorse during the trial. You're serving your full sentence. My piano studio was thriving. I had 30 students now, a waiting list, and a reputation as one of the best teachers in the area. I taught them music, but sometimes I taught them other things too. Trust your instincts, I told a teenage girl one afternoon. She'd been asking about my story, had read my book. If something feels wrong, it probably is. Don't talk yourself out of your own intuition.
But isn't that just being paranoid? There's a difference between irrational paranoia and reasonable caution. When your instincts tell you something's wrong, that's your brain processing information your conscious mind hasn't caught up with yet. Listen to it. My mom says I worry too much. Your mom hasn't had someone try to burn her alive. I have. And I'll tell you what saved me. Worrying enough to take precautions, installing cameras, documenting concerning behavior, trusting that internal voice that said something was wrong. The girl nodded thoughtfully. So it's not paranoid to be careful. It's smart to be careful. The world tells women we're overreacting, being dramatic, worrying for nothing. But those instincts exist for a reason. They've kept humans alive for thousands of years. Don't let anyone tell you to ignore them. On the 5th anniversary of the night Derek tried to kill me, James and I lit a fire. Not in the house, in the backyard fire pit. Controlled, safe, beautiful. This is reclaiming fire, I said, watching the flames dance. Taking back the power it had over me. Are you sure you're ready for this? I'll never be completely over it. I still have nightmares sometimes. Still check the smoke detectors obsessively. Still plan escape routes from every room. But I'm not going to let fear control my life forever. We roasted marshmallows and drank wine and watched the fire burn down to embers. Thank you, I said to James. For what? For being patient, for understanding, for never making me feel crazy for needing security cameras and escape plans and all my careful precautions. You're not crazy, you're careful, and you're alive because of it. I am alive. Derek thought he could burn me away like I was nothing, like I was just an obstacle between him and the life he wanted. But he was wrong. I was smarter, more prepared, and I survived. You did more than survive. You thrived. He was right. I had survived, and then I'd built something from that survival. A book that helped other women recognize danger, a teaching career that helped students learn music and life lessons, a security system that let me sleep at night knowing I'd see any threat coming. Derek had tried to burn me out of existence. Instead, he'd only refined me, made me stronger, sharper, more aware. I was alive, and every day I lived was another day of proving that careful preparation, trust in instincts, and the courage to protect yourself could triumph over even the most carefully planned murder. Derek had brought the gasoline, but I'd built the escape route, and that made all the difference.